Your ability to control your thoughts, treat it with respect. It's all that protects your mind from false perceptions, false to your nature and false to the nature of all rational beings. It's what makes thoughtfulness possible and affection for other people and submission to the divine. This is a note that Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome during his time, was writing to himself while he was battling the Germanic tribes, defending his empire. And he is known as the philosopher king because he was a student of Stoicism. And at this point, he's a teacher of Stoicism, whereby we can glean the wisdom from the notes that he wrote to himself. It was such a blessing to receive these notes and really get inside the mind of the most powerful man on the planet during his time, right? So he's writing these notes to himself. He's navigating the mazes of his mind, and we are blessed to extract and really gain from the wisdom that he has now passed on to us. I don't know if it was his intention to do so, but either way, we now have access to this. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some big lessons that I have learned from the philosopher king, okay, on how to control your mind, how to master your mind so that you are not a slave to the thoughts and the impulses that pull you this way and that way and the other way. Okay, now I've been reading this book for more than like 3 years at this point. Every single year I go back to it and I gain something different from it because it's such a valuable piece of wisdom that's there. It's so rich. And every single time, it's not that the book is different, but I've expanded my own awareness and therefore I'm able to extract different nuggets of wisdom. Okay, now the first lesson on how to control, whoa, spit's flying all over the place. The first lesson on how to control your mind is to be strict with yourself and tolerant with others. Okay, Marcus Aurelius recommends that when you let go of other people, of their behavior, of their thoughts, of their actions, and only concern yourself with your own behavior, of your own character, then that is tranquility. Okay, so many times we get caught up between how someone else treated us, or how someone else disrespected us, or someone did the wrong thing, or someone was being negative. But the reality is that everyone is acting based on what they think is best for them. And Aurelius says that how cruel of you to expect them to do something other than what they think is best for them. Okay, except that they are acting in what they think is their own self-interest. And if they're not, they're damaging themselves, then yes, you can go and try and explain, but be rational. Don't get emotional, because that is the intention of Stoicism, to sharpen our view of reality so that we can reach objective judgment rather than get caught up in compulsion and impulsivity and really just getting concerned with factors that are beyond your control. How someone else behaves is not under your control. The only thing that's under your control is how you manage your own well-being, and how you manage your own thoughts, your own behaviors, your own actions. And that is when we get tranquility, okay? When we concern ourselves and our area of power on what we have control over, which is our perception of things and our behavior and our attitude towards how we perceive things to be. Okay, now the second recommendation on how to control your mind is to have a consistent goal in life. Okay, to have a purpose, a vision that drives your behavior rather than getting caught up in the emotion of the moment. Okay, Marcus Aurelius says that it is impossible to live life in a consistent way if you don't have a consistent goal. Okay, he says that people who labor all their lives but have no certain purpose to which they direct every thought and every behavior, then they are wasting their time, especially when they are hard at work. Okay, we have to ask ourselves at every moment whether this is necessary right now. What I am doing right now, is this actually necessary? Is this moving me towards the direction of creating a life which I seek to create, or am I being pulled with this way and that way by me emotions, by me thoughts, by the distractions in the environment? Because the fact is that your mind, it's not made to keep you happy. Okay, your mind is made to keep you safe. And the fact is that our mind is the same mind that our ancestors had like 200,000 years ago, in an environment which was very different from the one we live in right now, in an environment that was full of threats, of predators, of dangerous like not having enough food. Like there was constant threat out in the environment, and that's what kept us safe in that environment. Now, although we led over here, now we've taken control of the environment. It's very unlikely that we will be facing threats to our well-being in the environment. Okay, so right now, our mind is meant to keep us safe, but what it really does, it keeps our lives small. And when our lives are small, when we are not striving towards how we are capable of expressing, because we are caught up between the impulses and the tendencies of the mind to, keep us safe, then that is where we are failing to move in the direction of creating a life that we love, because we are pulled this, that, and the other way by the compulsions and the impulsions of the moment, by the distractions that really put like fog in our vision. Okay, because we need to have a clear vision in terms of what we are seeking to create. If you don't have a clear vision in your life, I've created another video which I'll link out to, but get clear on where you want to go, get clear on the direction, get clear on the destination, because people say that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. But the journey has to move towards a destination. Okay, you have to go somewhere, because if you don't have a clear vision in mind, then you will be pulled in every direction by the emotions of the moment, by the distractions in the environment, by your mind trying to keep you safe. Okay, now the third lesson on how to control your mind from Marcus Aurelius is to love your fate. Okay, they used to say amore fati, all right, love of your fate. Now there are 4 different levels of love. Okay, now the first love is 0.0, when you love yourself. Okay, if you don't love yourself, then you will not act in your best interest. There are so many times where we make decisions that are not in alignment with our own best interest. And part of that is because we are not kind to our future selves. We give in to instant gratification because we don't have a vision that moves us forward. So if you don't have that, it starts with that. But loving yourself is about taking the actions or exhibiting the actions and demonstrating the behaviors that are in your best interest. Okay, if you know that sugar is going to mess you up, then why would you eat it? If you love yourself, why wouldn't you take care of your body and take care of your mind and take care of yourself and not engage in destructive habits? Because you don't love yourself. There is something holding you back from acting in your best interest. Okay, so that's love 0.0. And if you don't love yourself, you can't give something that you don't have. Love 1.0 is for the love that you have around, for the people around you, your friends, your family, your close ones, your relatives. Okay, and then love 2.0 is with the strangers that you interact with, the clerk, the taxi driver, the person that you're walking by on the street just smiling. That's love 2.0. And then the highest form of love is love 3.0, which is a love for your fate, a love for everything, everyone, every situation that takes place in your life, love for your destiny. Okay, Marcus Aurelius says that every situation that takes place is a seed for the one that comes after it. Okay, every moment is unfolding into a new destiny, and every moment is taking place exactly how it is supposed to. So when you can narrow down on objective judgment rather than get emotional with what's taking place, because the only source of negative emotions is when there is a disconnect between how things are playing out in your life right now and how you want them to be playing out. The world in your head is not reality. Okay, reality is what is unfolding around you. And if you realize that everything is happening exactly how it is supposed to, like, control is an illusion. The only control you have is of your own behaviors, of your own attitudes towards what's taking place, and everything else is out of your control. Okay, this is why they said in the Bhagavad Gita, which is the Hindu book, that you are entitled to the action, not the fruit of the action. Okay, it's like an archer. He takes his bow, he lets go of it. He takes his aim and then he lets go of the outcome. Okay, letting go of the outcome, not getting attached to how you think things should be. Only see, like, sharpening your view of objective reality, loving everything that is, because that is exactly how it is supposed to. And it's not supposed to be any other way, because it is what it is. If it was, then it wouldn't be, right? So really, that's something that I work on myself. You know, anytime I have these expectations, if I'm attached to a certain result, if I launch a certain product and not enough people buy it or something like that, then that is what holds me back from experiencing life for what it really is, because I get caught up in the perception of what I want it to be. Okay, so love your fate and you will control your mind, because you will sharpen your view of objective reality. Now, the next tip on how to control your mind from Marcus Aurelius is to drop the anxiety. Okay, he writes a note to himself. He's like, today I conquered anxiety. And he's like, no, scratch that. I let go of it because anxiety was all within my head. Okay, this ties back to the previous point as well, that life that we're experiencing right now, it is all taking place between our ears, all right? When we get associated with this anxiety, when we have this prediction or negative prediction of how something will unfold before us, it's all in your head, all right? So when we can learn to just let go of it, everything is in our head. When we can let go of these perceptions, just drop them, put them on the side, then we can focus and experience life for what it really is in front of us, rather than getting attached to the image of what we think it would be, all right? With anxiety, it's like we have this negative future association with how something will play out. And if you are anxious about something that you need to do, then why not just do it? What's holding you back from doing it? Fact is that you associate more pain with doing the thing than with not doing the thing, and that really goes back with conquering your procrastination. And if that's something you're suffering from, shameless plug, click the link below, join the discipline challenge, and really change your life in 30 days and develop your discipline and your willpower and conquer procrastination. Okay, but understand that the source of all negative emotions is within you, and it's up to you, and you have the power to let go of those emotions as well. Okay, and the final point is on controlling your anger. Okay, Aurelius says that when we feel anger, when we feel pain, it's really that we yield to it and we suffer from these things. So to express anger is not a manly trait. It's not a virtue, because we are at the mercy of it. Okay, why do you experience anger? You experience anger when, again, the reality that is playing out is different from the reality that you want it to play out like. All right, Aristotle said that to be angry, it's easy. Anyone can do it. But to be angry for the right reason, at the right person, for the right duration, that is difficult, okay? Because there can be a place where you can play into the emotion of anger and use it to further create the life that you seek to love. But to do it at the right time, at the right person, for the right duration, at the right moment, that is difficult, okay? Now, I'll leave you with this. What is the purpose of philosophy? What is the purpose of studying these ancient Stoics and, getting into this wisdom and implementing it into our lives? Well, Marcus really says that the purpose of philosophy is not to take instruction from it, but it's really like a soothing ointment. Okay, he talks about when you have like an eye infection, like an inflammation in your eye, then philosophy is like taking that ointment and soothing that pain in your eye, all right? So it's not something that we are getting pride from, living up to these principles. It's like, oh, virtue signaling. Oh, I am a Stoic. You aren't. Oh, you are lower than me. It's like not so much as a prideful act of demonstrating our adherence to these principles, but it is more that we seek comfort in them when we experience life. Obviously we all go through negative emotions. That's why Marcus Aurelius was writing these notes to himself, because he was going through these emotions and these impulses and these thoughts that were going through his mind, and journaling and writing them out were his way and means to sharpen his objective view on reality. Okay, so the purpose of philosophy is really to help us soothe the experience of life, not to just take the principles and live by them and just become so strict, but to know that life is going to throw us off center, and our intention with philosophy is to use it and soothe the inflammation, to soothe these negative emotions, so that we can get back to center that much quicker and easier. Okay, so I hope that has been valuable for you. If it has, click a bunch of the buttons below so that you can see more videos from me, and leave a comment below letting me know what is your number one takeaway from this video. Which principle will you apply in your life right now? Leave a comment below letting me know about that. But with all that being said, this has been your brother Mo, kind of mumbling over here, but I'll see you in the next video.